It's Wonderland Weekly with a very special intro here by Kermit the Frog. Yay! Was that all right? That was good? All right. Well, thanks everybody, and have a wonderful week.
Hey everyone, Toronto Ty back here at Canada's Wonderland once again. Yes, it is the final operating day of the non-WinterFest season. So yeah, gonna check out some Camp Spooky shows as well as Halloween Haunt this evening. Yeah, my brother-in-law and sister are coming here this evening. My brother-in-law is going to do The Conjuring with me, but my sister, no, she's a bit too scared for that. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun day, but really because this is the last day of the more or less regular season, it is also a day to yeah, talk about how this season went overall, just a little bit of a retrospective on the 2025 season and everything that is new and awesome that has happened this year, as well as a lot of the disappointments that have been here this season for me. I mean, Leviathan never disappoints. That was a ton of fun on Roller Coasters A, but of course we do have AlpenFury over there, and to me it's it's a very extreme experience, maybe a bit too extreme, and yeah, I'll talk about it more in a little bit, but yeah, I'm still a little I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of it, which is again why I start all of my videos now from this perspective, where I cannot see that, in my opinion, awful double inverting top hat, that earring that Wonder Mountain now has. I very carefully try to pick a spot where I can't see it because it does make me sad whenever I see it. So yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg here, and there is the tip of the mountain. Let's get right to another wonderful day here at Canada's Wonderland. Yes, preparations are underway for Snowflake Lake. We have the viewing area here that is almost ready by the looks of things, and yeah, more stuff for Snowflake Lake. And then of course we do have True North Gifts shut down because it is going to be the skate rental shop. So that is yeah, good to see all these preparations underway. And then of course AlpenFury there. I mean, I said before, I don't really mind the look of it from this side of International Street, but you know, as some of these trees have lost their leaves, then it still stands out quite a bit. And I really don't like what AlpenFury does to the look of Wonder Mountain. I don't think I'm gonna get over that because it is so sad to me, such a tragedy in my opinion. But hey, let's head into Grand World Expo with this beautiful entrance here that has been updated for this season. I truly love all of this twisty track, the fire serpent roll and all that that is here behind the scenes for AlpenFury. That I think looks wonderful, and yeah, it rides so well. Yeah, that is a great use of space, and yeah, I mean, I love this. It's I don't have much else to say because it is just it's spectacular. It is hidden behind the scenes somewhat, but you can still get those cool views of it. So that is tons of fun. And yes, just watching AlpenFury race by overhead, still absolutely incredible that the park has designed this coaster with so many areas where it passes over guests' heads. At the entrance to the Grand World Exposition of 1890, I do really like, I really love what AlpenFury does to this whole space. I feel like it brings a lot of energy to this plaza with the Ice Finder roll passing directly over the globe, and of course that zero-G stall over the flags. Yeah, all of that I think works really, really well, and the Skyflyer Loop is a new icon for the park. But I am still shocked. I really am shocked that the park has not managed to finish putting up all the fencing around this plaza. It is still just the construction fencing in place here. I'm really hoping that the park is working on developing some good themed fencing for the Grand World Exposition of 1890, because I do feel like it deserves some good themed fencing, more than what AlpenFury got around AlpenFest and behind the mountain. But these lampposts do not fill me with confidence because they are definitely not World Expo inspired. So I'm still disappointed by that, and looking to hopefully see some good themed fencing here in this plaza next year, or maybe even, you know, before WinterFest starts. We'll see what happens. I imagine that this stage the freak show stage will kind of be repurposed into the Cool Yule stage, assuming that show comes back. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see for all of that. And of course, in the meantime, we can still appreciate the Skyflyer loop there, which is so cool looking. For my first meal of the day, I decided to get the veggie lasagna from, of course, Grand World Eatery, which has the best food in the park at the moment, in my opinion. And I did that with a Caesar salad. The dressing is no longer in those tiny little cups, so now it is in these larger cups. I took one that is filled nearly to the brim, so that is good. Yeah, the different cups had different amounts of dressing, which is also kind of nice that, you know, you can pick which one you think is enough dressing for you. About to head through Necropolis during the day, but wanted to point out Jack Frost's Igloo Village is underway, so that is good to see that work being done as well. But really the reason why I wanted to walk over this way is because Time Warp. Yeah, it was removed over the last off-season with zero notice. I still am, you know, a little disappointed that that's how that went about. I really feel like they should have given some kind of notice. But yeah, so that is disappointing, and we have seen no activity there at all. At least I haven't since it was removed. Doesn't seem like they are going to be using it. There's been no announcement for anything in 2026, so I don't think it'll be used next year either. But we'll see. There might be some surprise announcements. Who knows? Yeah, it honestly, it would not surprise me if we got something small next year that they just haven't really talked about yet. But yeah, I don't really think that we are actually going to get anything, even though the Six Flags did announce last year, very end of last year, that Wonderland would be getting a new record-breaking water attraction for 2026. We have none of us have seen any actual activity of that, at least as far as I know. Yeah, so it's just kind of disappointing that this whole area is just being left. But hopefully we see a lot of activity here next year for something to bring some life to World Expo, to bring it back to life. That would be great. But I do hope that they can somewhat hold on to some of this theming here, because this is really, really well done. Paramount did a great job with theming this attraction. You know, I mean, it gets Paramount gets a lot of hate, but no, they did a great job with its entrance and the queue, even if the ride itself didn't really have any theming. I mean, even the pavement here, all the symbols that are carved in here, it's so nice, and I'm glad that these remnants are still here, and hoping that they can be repurposed for whatever comes next to this section of the park. Yukon Striker blasting out of the ground from an underground tunnel. That is absolutely incredible. An underwater tunnel too. So yeah, and it just dominates the skyline back here. But you know what? It doesn't take away from what was already here, in my opinion, compared to AlpenFury, which really does. Oh look, perfect timing. Yeah, it looks like a bunch of scaffolding was added to Wonder Mountain. I feel like it makes the mountain look smaller. It takes away focus from the majesty that is Wonder Mountain. The fire effect, it feels completely unrelated to the coaster. It only goes off every 15 minutes, which I understand that reasoning somewhat, but yeah, no, I really am not a fan of it. This is not the type of coaster that I wanted Wonderland to put into Wonder Mountain. I mean, I feel like any coaster that uses Wonder Mountain should be fairly accessible because it is the icon of the park. It does need to be, you know, something that everyone can look at and be like, yeah, that's part of the mountain. Vortex is about as extreme as I would ever want a coaster to be that uses the mountain, and Vortex doesn't even go through the mountain. So, yeah, AlpenFury has, it is a very extreme thrill coaster. If you're looking for that, I think you're going to be very happy with it. And I've tried to, you know, say that a lot this year, but I feel like it's tough to deny that it does take away something from the mountain, or multiple things, because it does make the mountain look smaller. It hides it behind so many of these supports that are just, they don't blend with the mountain at all. They kind of blend with the sky, but only when the sky is that perfect shade of blue. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. And then adding on to all that, there are all these points of penetration through the mountain where the patchwork, it doesn't look finished to me, and I still hope that it's unfinished. I mean, obviously the fencing around World Expo, or the Skyflyer loop, that hasn't been finished, so maybe we still have the opportunity for Rockscapes or the park itself to come back to this over the off season, touch this up, make it look a lot better. But it's not going to help. It's not going to, you know, change the fact that there are now just these bright blue support columns that are going right through the mountain structure. It really is very disappointing to me, and I feel like it takes so much away from the mystery and the majesty that is Wonder Mountain. Yeah, AlpenFury has a lot of awesome visuals, but I just don't like anything that it does with Wonder Mountain. I feel like that is just, it's very disappointing to me, and overall, I mean, I just am very disappointed by AlpenFury for that reason. If you want super thrilling, you're going to be happy. But for me, I don't even really love extreme thrills to begin with, and I know a lot of people who don't, and so that it's not for everybody. You know, it's fine. It's here now, and it's disappointing to me. But that's just my perspective on things. I really do feel like Guardian did a better job of trying to blend into the mountain and expand on the mountain's lore in a way that was more respectful to the structure, and still keep a lot of mystery and a lot of possibilities for the future. So, yeah. AlpenFury, new for 2025. Of course, at the back of Wonder Mountain, you can see AlpenFury and Guardian passing by. As I mentioned before, I don't mind too much the views of AlpenFury from back here. You know, there's already a lot of steel back here, and of course, this final inversion over Vortex's first drop is pretty cool. I don't feel like it has quite the impact that they maybe hoped. I feel like it's a little bit too big of a gap between the two rides there. It's still cool, but not quite that near miss element. But I really wanted to talk about the fencing, because of course I do. Now all this fencing that is back here, the Frontier Canada style fencing, I don't like it. I have mentioned it before. And the fact that they painted it gray, and a lot of that paint is wearing off, so I hope that was just the first coat, and that they will do a better job over this off season. But no, I'm not a fan of that. It doesn't belong back here, in my opinion, thematically. No, I mean these metal posts, fences with just the chain. Yeah, the chain in between each of those posts. I think that works a lot better. It fits in AlpenFest better, in my opinion. So I really wish that they had done that. It feels a lot more subtle. Yeah, that's just my perspective on all of that. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm totally out of line here. But yeah, and then we do have, of course, some of the footings were touched up by rockscapes or possibly the park. I think it was rockscapes, but I'm not 100% certain. Yeah, it looks very, very good for the most part. I think that does enhance the look of Wonder Mountain. Honestly, I don't have a complaint about those. I just wish that there were more of those. Back behind Wonder Mountain, I think that would have been awesome all along this stretch, not just this final stretch. I mean, even right here, it's small, but it could have been covered in more rock work there as well. That's just my feelings on that. But yeah, the fencing is really the biggest thing for me, where it doesn't fit here. We are not in Frontier Canada, even though I know technically Lazy Bear Lodge is part of Frontier Canada. I feel like that should be shifted to make that part of AlpenFest, but that's a conversation for a different day. As it stands, I don't understand the gray Frontier Canada fencing that the park installed all along here, and I wish that they had done some more of the rock work back here. But the rock work itself is great. It's got a little bit of a red hue to it, or pink, which I'm still a little bit confused by. And then, like this door that was added back here behind the Tiny Tom Donuts. This blending as well was done not the best. Hopefully the park can touch these things up over the next off season. They're minor details, but I really do feel like they make a big difference. When I was a kid, Wonder Mountain was such a mystery, and it was so iconic, and it felt like a real mountain. And I feel like these things, errors with blending, they make that worse. They don't help at all. They kind of ruin that illusion a little bit. So hopefully the park can touch those up over the next off season, because I really do feel like that is an excellent element that Wonderland had, that Wonder Mountain had, that just isn't here as much anymore. The Fly notably did not get a re-theme with the introduction of AlpenFest here at the park. So hopefully that also happens for next year. Maybe something is in the works. With the park taking a year off from adding anything major, at least as far as we know right now, then that would be really, really good to see them focus a lot on doing some theming elements throughout the park, but especially AlpenFest, which feels a little underdeveloped, in my opinion. I appreciate that they brought it back, but it needs more than just throwing the name on there and adding a new coaster, in my opinion. The other thing, AlpenFury's queue, of course, has these shade structures, and they are insufficient. I really don't know what happened with the planning for this. It's just, the post being all curved is certainly a choice, but it feels very odd. And yeah, with that big X in the middle, where there just is no shade because of the gaps between the sails here. It's strange. It's I don't know why the park went with this option, but I feel like we're stuck with it. But I don't know. If I were the park, I would try to reinvest in this, switching it out to something that is sufficient for one of their major coasters to have a proper shade structure. Other than that, things are pretty good back here in this section. The Schlagseat game looks amazing, and all the other shops that the park renovated last season do look great. I was a little bit ho-hum on them. I think the faded yellow it works. I feel like it is a little bit odd that it seems like every themed area in the park is going to be themed like it is old school. Maybe a little bit more ravished by time, but other than that, it does look good. It does look thematically appropriate. The wood shakes look amazing. Faux wood shakes. It's great. The shop, with the fake windows there. That looks great with the lighting through there. Yeah, so you know, lots of good improvements that happened here. I don't want to be fully negative because there are a lot of good things that the park did here. Yeah, I do apologize if I get stuck on some of these negatives. The negatives stand out because they are because you know the good things you don't notice when you do something right. Nobody will be sure you've done anything at all because it just fits. And so the things that stand out tend to be a little bit worse. They just stand out because they don't meet that level of expectation that you know, individuals may have. The AlpenFury sign is another perfect example of that. It is so minimal, and I don't fully get that. Again, I feel like the Schlagseat sign is a lot better. It draws focus a lot more than the AlpenFury sign. This whole entrance area, I do love it. Everything that they did with, you know, repurposing the old entrance from our Enzian, and of course the dive into the mountain. That is awesome. Yeah, let's get more thoughts on that in in another clip here. AlpenFury launching directly overhead of guests and diving down into Wonder Mountain. It is such a cool visual, and I do appreciate that. I think that does work really, really well. And honestly, this dive into the mountain is done so well. All the rock work here is incredible. It it didn't look great at first, but they really touched it up. They made it look just perfect in my opinion, so that is wonderful. I love this style of fencing that they have around this area for this restricted area. It just it looks great with this. It's subtle, you can still see through it, but it is secure, so that is great. And of course we do have Sherman the goat. That's my name for it. Really morbid Megan came up with that, and yeah, that was perfect. So that is all I'm going to call Sherman there. And that is amazing, absolutely incredible that the park found that in storage from Bear and Curve and managed to make it part of this ride. I think that is wonderful. It's beautiful. So appreciative of that element. You know, this section here, this dive into the mountain, the burgundy kind of shade of fencing. It is a bit strange. I didn't really get it when it was first installed, and I still don't really get it. But you know, it's a good break from just brown. So you know, I'll appreciate the little bit of a splash of color. The same cannot be said for this fencing here, which is that same Frontier Canada fencing, which is just painted gray, and the paint is wearing away already. The plants around here are great, but yeah, this fencing, I still don't understand it. I really hope that they can switch it out with something that is just a little bit different, like the metal posts with chains in between. I do think that would look a lot better, or something like they had before. Right in this area, you can still see they've got that post there. Same thing, it's got the chain in between, and then it is a wooden post. Something a little bit more subtle like that, and then that keeps this fencing reserved exclusively for Frontier Canada, more or less. I think that would just be a lot better. It would feel more thematically cohesive, which is a big thing for me. So that's my big spiel about all of that. In terms of AlpenFury's station building and this whole plaza, I feel like the plaza is really good. I hate this screen here. It does not fit the vintage, you know, style of AlpenFest at all. It really stands out a lot, especially with the screen being so bright, which I feel like it needs to be during the day, but then during the nighttime, and I think that they might be working on something to make that dim for the evenings. That would be great. But you know what? Quite a while ago, I mentioned how you know, the park had added those flags overhead, and they seemed very temporary. And my goodness, were they temporary? They didn't even make it to the end of the season. I didn't necessarily want them to be completely removed, but just to feel more permanent, to be a little bit more I don't know. So maybe they're working on something that does feel a little bit more permanent, and hopefully with these flags that are on the station building, those can be secured so that we don't have that situation happening where it is just folded over and all that. Yeah, so that is my big thing there. Just hoping that the park invests a lot in touching this whole area up, because it does look good overall. I honestly, I'm pointing out a lot of complaints that I have, but I do love the atmosphere of this. It's still a wide plaza with lots of space to walk through, which is very important. And the buildings in general look pretty good. Although AlpenFury Station, I really do feel like it is rather bland. Just the brown walls for the most part, including, on parts of this gift shop. At least the gift shop has those bright blues, which are quite vibrant, but yeah, not so much on the station building itself. I compared it before to the new station building for Yeti Trek up at Santa's Village. I have not been to that park, but that station building looks so much more like a well done, sled house or ski chalet, something like that I feel like Wonderland could have leaned into a little bit more with this structure. I know it was very difficult with the limited space that they had for this area, but yeah, maybe they can add some extra pops of color or something. Honestly, the details that they have added, such as whatever that mesh grill is that they added there, I think that looks wonderful. The signs look great overall. So, there's a lot to be happy about with AlpenFury, but I still feel like the park can do a lot more, and hopefully they do in the future. So, in terms of the tunnel, oh boy, I have so many thoughts on the tunnel itself. So, the tunnel for AlpenFury that runs through the basement of Wonder Mountain and out through the roof of the mountain. You know what? The lighting effects are excellent. The way that it transitions from blue to red to orange, that is awesome. I do really, really appreciate that. And then it just slowly goes back to blue once the train has passed. I think that is a really, really neat detail. But I have said it before and I will say it again. I wanted this whole space to feel very constricting, very, very cramped, very much a tight tunnel, similar to what they showed off in the animation, the POV, the animated POV before the coaster was built. That really did make it seem like this tunnel was going to be a tunnel. It was going to be fully, all the way from start to finish, from the point that you enter the mountain's basement to the point that you blast out the top. The whole thing was going to look like a mountain. And the park did not achieve that. And I think it's okay to say that. The little bits that they have in there, the little stalactites and stalagmites, those are great. But man, this is not what was promised. I really wanted it to feel like the entire thing, like you were passing through the mountain, like a cavern through the mountain. Not just a warehouse that with, walls that have been painted black, but properly passing through the mountain. And I know that's a little bit rich, when I when I love Guardian as much as I do, and I absolutely adore Thunder Run. Both of them are very much warehouses, but both of them, they do something interesting. They're not focused on that element, and I guess you could say AlpenFury isn't really either, because you go by so fast that it doesn't matter. But it's a lot more visible on AlpenFury than it is in Thunder Run, where it is pretty much completely black through that space, other than Herman, of course. And with Guardian, where you are meant to be focusing on the screens, and it needs to be a little bit generic so that the park can put any story they want on Guardian. Alpine Outfitters as a shop, the entire interior is done really, really well. I love that. And I do, I was a little bit concerned when this building went up and it was just brown. but it does have all these nice blue touches to it that I think work really well. The name I am still really not a fan of. It feels, yeah, just too similar to Klondike Outfitters for Yukon Striker. I think that they could have, you know, come up with something just a little bit different for this shop. I still think AlpenFoto with an F would have been a nice tie-in to AlpenFury while still expressing, you know, exactly what this shop is, and having that fun, you know, kind of German sound to it, which I think is appropriate for for this area, this section of the park. The glockenspiel, the clock is great. I love that. And the little figures are absolutely adorable. The fact that it does chime every, I think, 15 minutes is amazing. It's such a cool touch. I love it. I was expecting the characters to go back inside in between each show, but it still is great the way that it is. Yeah, that would just be my only thing that, like, oh, I thought it was going to be this. Similar to the one at the Fest House at Kings Island. I believe those characters literally pop out for a show and then go back inside and then cannot be seen in between the shows. I think that works a little bit better, but this is still such a nice detail that the park included. So overall, very happy with Alpine Outfitters, which I still feel like should have been called something more like AlpenFoto. Again, this shop interior is beautiful. I love the sleds that are hanging from the ceiling, the ice and fire imagery on the walls, these touches in between the displays, and all these little bits that are up there. All of that is great. And then, of course, the best thing, in my opinion, the best thing in this entire shop is this back wall here, which does look, well, fairly similar to Wonder Mountain. I do think that it is supposed to be Wonder Mountain in profile, and I think that is achieved pretty well. So I love that detail, and I do think that is probably the best part of this shop, which is, in general, fantastic. Shockwave, such an incredible ride, but I have not been on it nearly as much since the trees around it were removed. Yeah, it really is still very disappointing to me. So that has not been a fun thing. That was technically last season, but it was toward the end of the season, so it feels very new, and I did get a lot fewer rides on Shockwave this year because of that. And then, of course, AlpenFury's station building. This big brown wall with the strange gap toward the top. This needs something, in my opinion. I know it's technically a backstage area, but it is so visible that I don't think that it can stay this way. I mean, really, it needs something, some kind of theming. I don't know. I know I've complained about it before, and it still bothers me that is that is what this side of the building looks like. I have been far too negative this video, so let's change things up. I want to heap praise on Wild Beast, which, although it is very rough, and I've gotten some of the worst rides I have ever gotten on it ever this season, I've also gotten some really great rides on it. It is really fun. It's got a great layout, and I hope that it gets the same treatment that Mindbuster got for this year, but you know, we'll have to wait and see how long that will take. Budget is always a concern, and timing and all of that. So hopefully the park can manage to do that in the future. The other thing is this new refresh center, the Planet Snoopy Refresh Center, the first ever refresh center for the kids park. I love this. I am so incredibly happy that the park added this. This and Mindbuster are kind of neck and neck for my favorite additions that Wonderland did for this year, because this is just, it is so good. It was so necessary, and the fact that it has an icy thing attached and that is self-serve, I think is great. All of this is wonderful. The colors work with the Planet Snoopy, even though they they kind of shocked me at first. They really do fit the atmosphere of Planet Snoopy, so I think that is great. Yeah, just overall, this is a great addition. And I hope that we see more things like this in the future. More refresh centers around the park, more icy locations, fewer bars, because we don't need as many bars as we have, in my opinion. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how all of that goes. I don't know, but this location, I'm very appreciative of it. Thank you so much, Wonderland, for adding this and for doing all that work on Mindbuster as well. I know I keep complaining about the, what I call frontier fencing being all over AlpenFest, and some of you might be like, well, it's also in the kids park. And yeah, it is. It's used for Snoopy's Racing Railway, and I think that fits thematically with that ride. And especially if the park ever wants to switch this section over to Camp Snoopy, sorry, then I think that this is a good step in the right direction. I can't think of any other type of fencing that would fit here. I think that this looks great for this section of the park as well. So just wanted to clarify, I'm not completely opposed to frontier fencing going in other sections, but I mean, a camp theme and the frontier theme, those go together really well. I think that those make sense. These areas make sense, but AlpenFest, I really think that they could have done a little bit better. Sadly, I did not manage to film Snoopy's Tricks and Treats Adventure, which is, the show that was here at Playhouse Theater. It looks like they got a brand new set, which looks great, so I am very, very sad that I didn't manage to do that. I do apologize for that. Time really got away from me this October, especially with me being sick one week and taking a week to go to Snyder's Spear Farm. But hopefully I will manage to film the Peanuts show next year for Camp Spooky.
It was wonderful.
You won! It's amazing. I mean,
as
long as Drac can win, I'm good either way.
Yeah. Was there really any doubt that you would win, though? I mean, really.
Well, you have better athletic ability than I do. I'm always losing all my pieces.
Oh, that's fair. That is fair. Yes.
Something really fun.
Of course.
Squirrel!
Yeah. Same trick works for me, except you have to say roller coaster.
Roller coaster! We've learned the limits of his attention span.
Did you enjoy the show?
Absolutely. No, it was so much fun.
What do you have planned to do today? You're gonna have anything to eat? Gonna go on any rides?
Yeah, all of the above, really. That's
I don't have
right
organs
through
anymore. I guess
Right. Constantly keeping Frankie over there from eating candy.
it's a mess.
Ooh.
Candy, he gets a tummy ache. He gets a tummy ache, it's my problem.
Right, yeah.
That's
What?
trying to be my problem.
Remember
Yeah.
one time you had to borrow some of my rabbits to catch them up?
No.
That was rough.
Yeah. Maybe you can use, like, if there's any gum as part of the candy, you can use that to help stick the pieces together. Oh.
Even more moaning.
Oh, classic, yeah. Honestly, when I was alive and I used to have organs, I would always have the funnel cake.
Oh, yes, of course.
I sometimes I can inhale it.
Right,
It's
yeah.
not the same.
Right,
you
yeah,
know? But
yeah.
my embalmer says I can't inhale it too much. The sugar is bad for my rabbits.
That makes
I
sense.
gotta make sure that it looks nice.
Yes, and it does. It looks wonderful.
This was redone too, actually, this morning.
Ooh, very
and
nice.
fluffy, yes. The
Ah.
swelling will go down a little bit. Yeah.
Of course.
It's just a side effect of the new food. It's very exciting. Thank you for
Amazing.
coming.
Of course.
Happy Halloween.
Yes, happy Halloween to you as well. Right, yeah. We're a bit late, but that's okay. That's okay. Glad to have you all sticking around.
You caught us right before we go into hibernation.
Yes.
Cold and all the part of the sea.
Well, that'll about do it for Camp Spooky. I am going to be sticking around for Haunt tonight. That's a wrap on the kids park. And I do have to say, although I do feel like there were fewer decorations than there have been in previous years. The new show was really, really fun. That was great to see the park continuing to invest in that. The returning shows, also excellent. Pumpkin Patches is phenomenal. I really, really love that show. It was all very, very good. And it's all just outside the kids' park. I feel like maybe this stage could be a permanent stage in the future. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. I don't think that they really have enough room for seating there. But yeah, that's about a wrap on the 2025 daytime season. Had to wrap it up with mentioning events. And, you know, this year's event calendar was, you know, pretty lackluster. We did have Celebration Canada, of course, which is always fun. And the Food and Wine Festival did return, although I don't think I got anything at the event this year. It's not an event for me. Yeah, that is indicative of a lot of things at Wonderland this year. A lot of things that have happened at the park for this season have just not been for me. Not every year is, you know, going to hit the same. Not every year is going to be my favorite season ever. This year was very disappointing in general. I'm hoping that WinterFest can turn things around a bit and end the year strong, but with you know, budget cuts across the Six Flags chain and all that, I'm not sure if that's really going to happen. So we'll see. I think there might be a new show for WinterFest, but I haven't seen it on the website yet, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, AlpenFury itself, I was never a fan of the blast coaster concept. The layout of the coaster is, I think, the best that it could be, but it's just not for me, and I really have never, ever liked the idea of a coaster blasting out the roof of Wonder Mountain. I don't like the way that it looks from front gate. So, having said that, again, events. There was supposed to be a new event that happened this year at Canada's Wonderland, the Great BrewBQ, and that just disappeared from the calendar entirely. That didn't happen. I was very excited for that, and so I'm disappointed that that didn't happen. There have been a lot of disappointments this year. And again, I am hoping, I really am hoping that WinterFest turns things around for me and that 2026 is a better season. So stay tuned for more. I am going to be here for WinterFest, although not for the first night. I have another family obligation that day. So yeah, so I won't be here for that. But I will be here pretty much every week for WinterFest, and I'm going to come back for 2026 as well. Stay tuned for all of that, and I really do hope that you know, I try to stay positive as best as I can, and I am hoping, I really am hoping that the future of Canada's Wonderland is going to be bright and something that feels like Wonderland, because AlpenFury, you know, it does feel like Wonderland in some ways, but it takes so much away from what I feel is Wonderland, and that is the iconic imagery of Wonder Mountain and the attention to detail in some of these other things. The overall guest experience this year has not been what I associate with Canada's Wonderland. That has been disappointing, and I know it's a transition period. I know that you know, there was the merger between Cedar Fair and Six Flags last year, and that has a huge effect on things. I'm hoping for the best next year. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a journey, and I hope that all of you come along with me for that journey. So I think that'll about do it for 2025 daytime. I'm going to have a separate haunt video, and that'll about do it. So until next time, as always, have a good one.
If you like this video, you can now buy me a hot chocolate at buymeacoffee.com. I also love hearing your thoughts, so feel free to leave a comment. Thanks so much for your continued support, and be sure to subscribe for more wonderful videos.